And
What's up, dudes?
it's time.
We haven't told anyone to smash that like button in a while, dude.
Yo, smash the like button and subscribe.
Oh, wait, this is the Patreon app.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, dude. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. First of all, I do want to tackle this issue of why there's light. How is that possible, dude? Why is there light
Am I
on
just
Earth?
going to fall into this
No, it's
trap
not
again?
that was just me. Just
I know, you're goofing.
fucking-
Yeah, you're an improv guy. Joke's there, you're going to hit it.
This is what you did, right?
When you said, I know about synthetic weed.
Oh, you have your face.
This guy, I didn't know I was walking into a snitch party.
Watching you process a possible fucking PA.
No, I've said it on here before. Not a PA.
I know. Yeah, I was like bugging out on that. I was like, whoa.
What?
The fact that everything's lit up here. I'm like, but it's not in outer space, and technically outer space is closer to the sun. And I was like, well, it's got to be moisture or something. I think moisture probably reflects light, like you were saying. But how crazy is that, dude?
A little more.
Let's hear it.
It says the Earth contains an atmosphere which contains molecules, particles in it. When light coming from the outside source hits Earth, it gets stuck in the particles.
Whoa. So we are in a hologram. Dag. It's pretty crazy if you think about it.
Yeah.
There's just fucking the sun, and then its light only gets displayed underneath the atmosphere of Earth. It's bugging me out.
Yeah, but that's just how light works. Like, go in a dark room, shine a light across the room.
Yeah.
The object you're shining will light up, and the room won't.
Brother. But there's no goddamn room, dude. We're on a ball, and it's going from the light's traveling through darkness, and then it's there in outer space. It just can't be expressed.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think it's fucking nuts, dude.
Go ahead, Noah. Noah's got an opinion.
Well, I mean, like, if you're, like, in outer space, you know, you can't see anything. But if you see, like materials, like, in space, like space shuttle,
Yeah, it would be lit up.
you can see that, yeah.
No,
Like,
you've
you'd
never
be
been
lit-
in fucking outer space, dude.
I've seen fucking Gravity, bro.
True.
I knew it. You're just talking about space movies, dude.
I'm not just talking about space movies. It's just, like, true.
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
not
know.
dark in
It's not-
space.
yeah.
Yeah, it's dark as
Objects
hell.
light up if you're in
Really?
front of the sun.
It's not darker
Yeah.
than hell in space?
No.
Like, technically, but no. Because
The
there's
sun is-
things. And,
it's
like,
dim.
Yeah. The light reflects off all the things in space, so that's why there's, like, you can see things, you know?
But why is it so dark, dude?
Because there's not something
It's
big
not
enough.
daytime in outer space, I'll tell you that.
Goddamn right.
Technically, yes, it always is. If the sun is out, the only reason it's dark is because we're on the other side of the sun. It's always daytime in space.
What?
Yeah,
Like a real daytime?
like fucking broad daylight, as bright as hell.
What?
If you hold something up in outer space, it'll
You
be
can see
bright.
it.
Yeah,
What? All right,
What?
fair enough. I thought it was like dark as hell. Everyone told me it was like a vacuum, a cold, dark vacuum.
it it is until there's an object in it that is reflecting the light.
Like the moon.
Like the moon's up there. The moon gets light. You know,
Well,
moon.
that was cool. I was just sitting there like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like, damn, that's fucking sick, dude. How lucky or how blessed are we, dude, to have this
to have light.
beautiful light on this planet.
I think that was the first day.
Heard that.
You know, I think God was like, "Come
Let's
on,
go.
Was it the first day?
Believe
I don't
so.
think it was.
Well, first there was the word. First there was the word. Exactly.
Hell yeah,
Fucking amen, everybody.
a little more. A women.
Yeah, excuse me.
Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, there was
That's
a
a real
guy
thing?
in the Capitol. It was in Congress. He was like, "Amen" and "a women," and it was like, you know, "amen" has nothing to do with gender.
Oh, what a fucking
Like the
dick.
word is, yeah, it's like
I would have stormed.
Hebrew.
Yeah.
A couple guys having fun in there.
That's fuck. I would have. A couple guys having a good old
Just
time.
guys having
goofing
fun.
off in there.
That's illegal now. Guys having a fucking blast.
Dude, yeah. So that was pretty much it. I can't think. There was something else, but I can't think of it right now. I'm stuck on space, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, also too, I learned another cool factoid. I think it's our cerebrospinal fluid, like our cortical, whatever the fuck it's called. I think cortical fluid is from
The
Westworld.
stuff I wasted last night.
Stuff you fucking bludgeoned with my. No, it's the stuff that just floats through your spine. That fluid, 1 molecule removed from seawater. It's like if you had a microscope, you'd be like, I swear this is seawater.
Mm.
But it's like one molecule. It's basically the ocean, dude.
Yeah. Where did we come from?
Pretty fucking cool.
Where did
dude.
life come from?
The ocean.
The ocean.
Dude, I'm reading a book about mushrooms right now.
Yeah, I bet.
All things mushrooms, dude. They talk about how, I don't know if it's theory or not. I just assume this is true. That mycelium, right? That's the root network of mushrooms. They can actually tap mushroom. I'm not going to call them roots. That'd be ignorant. It's mycelium. They can tap rocks and then slowly degrade and leach minerals out of rocks. Pretty fucking crazy.
Mm.
So what they were saying is plant life was in the ocean. It couldn't make it on plant life in the ocean. Didn't have the right root systems to be on land until the mushroom mycelium reached out and connected them, and mushroom mycelium would feed them the nutrients they needed for them to come up on land. And then once on land, the plants like slowly established roots. But back then, they're saying the only thing on Earth were like two-story mushrooms. Fucking bugged out, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was listening to it. I'll put the audiobook on loud every now and again. Me and Bay will listen to it before bedtime. She did not like the mushroom
really?
stuff. Dude, the guy was like, "We are essentially fungi." And she's like, "What are we listening to?" I'm like, "Come on, dude."
She woke up like,
yeah, dude. But that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like that. Remember that YouTube video I used to love, the fucking history of the Earth?
Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
Yeah, when it shows the fish coming out of the water and being like, "Oh, I can't lay eggs here because my eggs are too soft. Like they need the water."
Yeah.
And then they invented over evolution like a hard shell to keep them in water on
Crazy.
land.
Crazy, dude.
Now we're here.
That's God, dude.
That's God.
I don't believe in evolution personally. I'm
Evolution's
intelligent
crap,
design.
dude.
I'm intelligent design. 100%, dude.
I'm one of one.
Heard that.
God made me.
Heard that, dude.
Please. All right. I want to hear.
You want to hear the tale, dude?
Yeah, I've never really heard your tale.
Dude.
Now, we don't have to.
Go into whatever. You can check my balance sheet. It's negative. I got robbed pretty much every single time. But, so.
You broke bad.
I broke bad about it. 18, dude. Broke bad at about 18 years old, dude. Someone I knew. I'm not going to obviously put them on blast. But someone I knew, part of my original Fast and Furious squad, got their hands on like a quarter pound of weed. Like, we were youngins, dude.
Yeah.
Youngins, dude.
Sure.
High schoolers.
Yeah.
Dare I say.
Yeah.
And, I remember it was like, I liked weed at the time. So I remember seeing like a lot of it and being like,
that's tight.
I want that.
Yeah.
So, I waited. I plotted my course. I bought weed like a couple times. I bought like Ace off this guy. And, at the time, again, I was a petty day laborer. So I was like, I can't be spending like, I used to get paid $60 a day. So $40 for an eighth back then. I was like, I can't it's too much. So, got a little ounce, split it with the first scheme.
Both the dopers just now had to be like, what the hell is he talking about?
That's how it was.
You dopers buying weed.
But yeah, I remember like this is too expensive. So I was like, well, if I just split an ounce with my friends, I'll just keep the remainder for free. That's the old trap, dude. So I was like, hey, you guys want some weed? They're like, I'd like some weed. No,
Yeah.
Would you like? Everyone I know was like, I'd like some weed. I was like,
Of course.
I'll get it for us. Got an ounce. Ended up getting, my portion for free and being like, well, that sure was nice.
Yeah.
So then in the summer of like 18 years old, going on, or I turned, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm a winter baby. But it was like that around 18, 19. I remember I was like, someone told me like, dude, I can get you a half pound of weed for $1,600. So I had my summer job. I was working for a builder and electrician. So I saved up $1,600. I was the only one of my friends who could, save my fucking money like that.
Yeah.
Part of my squad could not hold on to money at all. So I saved it up for hard work. I remember bought like a half pound of weed.
Yeah.
And we just started trapping, bro. We just started fucking
Really?
trapping.
From then on, it was just Trap City.
19 years old, bro. I had the fucking HP. Lordin, dude.
Yeah.
My buddy's apartment complex. It was just sick.
That is sick.
Yeah. So then I, so that kind of started to spiral where like
Now, how do you sell it? Like, do you just to your friends? You're like,
that's what it does. That's how it
Yeah.
starts out. You start selling weed to your friends, and then it's like
and then they're like, hey, my
their
friend.
buddy calls you, and you're like, yeah, whatever. And
Are
then
you doing like drop? Like you just drive over to their house and like, here
yeah,
you go?
first, or I used to just trap this apartment out. I was just sitting. I didn't live there, so I would just go there
That's a job.
Smoke everyone down, obviously, so they're cool with it, and you trap out their apartment.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, whatever, this rules. Then you put them on. You start getting minions.
Then they're your
dude.
lieutenants.
You start getting minions.
Yeah. Those are your capos.
And then they start betraying each other and stuff.
Yeah.
My minions were riddled with drug addiction too, which wasn't good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I remember I like
Minions is just, yeah. You gotta keep them fed on fucking pills.
Yeah, you're like, look, mins, you guys got to get an apartment, and I'm gonna fucking sully it with fucking a just ridiculous thing. But I remember like slowly it was like, and this would be like periods that would go on, and it would all kind of crumble every now and again. But I remember I like, so, like you start, it's so funny because then you start meeting other people. Like, oh, I know this guy who does it. I don't know. So then I like linked up with this one dude. I forget his name. It might have been Ash. I forget. It was like a Pokemon trainer name, some weird name.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude. He's like, I can get you pounds of weed for like cheap, basically what you're paying for a half one. And I'm like, well, that'd be sick. So then we drive to this dude's house. Not this dude's house. We met these dudes up in like way up in West Philly, like up in like the 60th Street, like way out there.
Yeah.
And this dude who I thought was chill. On the way home, I was like, everything's looking good. He was like, yo, I didn't realize he had bought heroin off this guy as well. So like I went up there, I got myself I'm like, sweet, I got a pound of weed now.
Yeah.
Things are looking good. And that guy had unknowingly to me bought like 4 or 5 bags of heroin. Ooh. So he just started like snorting heroin on the way home.
Holy
We're driving.
shit.
I'm just a youngster, dude. I always like figured it was coke. So then like I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey man, whatever, dude. You did me a solid if you want to, snort.
If you want to snort a bunch of heroin?
Snort something off the dashboard
By all
of my
means.
Ford Contour. I'm like, knock yourself out, brother.
By all means.
So then he dropped it. I saw him go to his he had a wife at the time, or girlfriend. He dropped a couple of those little things to her. She was pregnant, bro. And then I started noticing this dude's body language. I'm like, this guy's not on coke. He's on fucking heroin.
Wow.
Yeah, so I fucking cut him out. I was like, dude, you're bad for business.
That
dude.
is bad for business.
So then I kept meeting with this fucking dude who was like, I didn't really know anything about him. But he would give me, I would get these like pounds of these like shitty middies and then sell them to kids from Penn State and just mark them up for like $500
Yeah.
each one. Dude, now you're 18 years old.
Fuck those pedophiles.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Dude, you're 18 making $500 in like a day. I would call my closest boy and I'd be like, yo, we're going to spend $500 at show and tell. It would instantly spend all the profit at strip clubs. I'm like, yo, bro.
Awesome.
At the time, I was like, we're splitting everything. Yeah, obviously, because I'm, whatever. So I was like, let's hit show. So it was like once a week. I would go make $500 off these Penn State dudes, and we would just ball out at show and tell, dude. As like just youngsters, dude. It was so fucking funny. And then this guy, the dude out there, the fucking like the heroin guy set me up with. They're like heroin dealers. So I know this now, so I'm a little nervous about that. And then they kept shorting the.
Would you get like scared when he would go to these deals, or like nervous?
I was just more excited. I'd be like, it was kind of an adrenaline rush.
Sure.
So I was just like buzzing around, and that was something I had to learn later on. Like I had like that whole thing of like judging situations as risky. That was just off. It wasn't on in my head. I would just go like that was the guy pulled a gun on me, and then a week later I was at his house, being like, let's let
water under the
bygones
bridge.
be bygones. Yeah.
Your attempted murder. That's all right.
I think he was shaking me down. He was seeing. I think he was just testing me. But so this guy kept shorting me, man. He kept like, I would open up and I'd be like, dude, this thing's a half ounce short. There's like 2 ounces of shake. The guy's like, oh, I'll get you on the next one. He was playing me, bro. He was playing the kid. So I was just like, I'd scurried around. I found someone else and I was just like, yo, dude. I called him the one night. I was all drunk, probably like fucked up. Called him up and I was just like, yo, dude. He's like, I was like,
with me?
I'm not gonna. I was like, we can't do this anymore. He's like, why? And I was like, fucking around, dude. You're young. He had an older brother. There was 2 of them. They had the same name. I don't want to say their names.
Yeah, don't say.
They had the same name. They had like this nickname up in West Philly. There was Little nickname and there was Big nickname.
Yeah.
He had an older brother. I was dealing with the Little.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro,
we gotta black you out for this.
You might have
to.
So
I got hammered and called him, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude. I'm just done with it. All right, you're fucking with me.
I'm over it." But yeah, I was like drunk, being like, "You're young, dude. Your older brother probably knows a little more about this. You're kind of like, one of those little brothers I was just talking shit to this guy, like fucking heroin dealer from West Philly. I'm like, you're that like little brother that tags along, just
holy shit,
fucking with this guy. And he's like, all right, man, all right. okay, all right, Matt. That's what
Yeah.
black dudes in West Philly always call me. All right, Matt. I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, man. Whatever, dude. It is what it is. And then I was like, I didn't even think. I was like, we're about to hit show and tell. I'm like, oh, let's go show and tell. So then he, and this is, whatever. Bunch of other stuff happened. Years later, I was sitting on a toilet reading the newspaper. I think I talked about this before. I'm reading the news, and it was like the dude's name is in the paper for fucking running through a police blockade, and like police cars were there to stop him, and he drove through it and I think he eventually got arrested.
Yeah.
But before that, like a month after I kind of told him off, he called me and he almost sweet dealed me where he was like, "Yo, dude, everything's super cheap right now. You got to come up here right now." And he, and I was just kind of like, something's fishy.
Yeah.
He was gonna fuck me up, dude.
Yeah.
And then then you read later, this is a dude who blasted through a police barricade. His brother got caught in the airport. His brother was doing like weird like airport schemes where he was like literally like when rappers talk about like taping shit to women and stuff.
Sure.
He was doing that. So he'd have hoes, and one of his hoes bucked loose on him, strapped full of drugs. She was mad. I guess he was fucking around or whatever. Strapped full of drugs, started screaming in the airport like, "I have drugs on me. Fuck this guy's making me transport drugs." His brother went down like that in the airport.
Oh,
and
my
then his
God.
little brother fucking tried to GTA through police things.
Damn.
Dude, these are
They would have cut your head off.
you serious would have shot me, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, they have dogs now at the airport. Have you seen this?
Oh, I've seen those dogs.
No, but like when you have to, that was the screening. You'd walk through a room and one guy would just have a dog follow you through the room.
What?
Yeah, they were like trying it out at LaGuardia when I was there.
For
Just maybe a new
whatever
way to do this.
Damn, I've seen the
One
dogs.
of the dogs usually just sit there and the guy holds them, but they were like actively following people around. And
Damn.
everybody was in line. And you had to walk through this one room where it was just a dog. And the dog would follow you and like jump up near you. It was crazy.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
anyway, sorry.
No, that was
I just forgot about that. That was a nice thing. I was excited about
You're not allowed to pet them.
it. Definitely not.
Not allowed to pet them. That's so
Yeah.
hard, dude. See them, it's like
They're handsome,
it's like what if I don't have any bombs? Can I
honorable
fucking pet them?
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well trained.
Well-trained, honorable dogs.
No, they're good boys, dude. But yeah, yeah, it was crazy. That was just like one little because when you're doing that, you have all these weird relationships with like just absolute psychos.
Yeah.
And that's just like the end of one of those vines, and then you just
Yeah.
meet some other guy, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, dude, the one guy I was talking to. He's like a 40-year-old landscaper. He would just be like, "Yeah, I was hanging out with a pimp last night." I'm like, "What?
Why?
What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, come on, man." It's like, all right, dude.
I
Yeah,
just
see-
watched that,
see a
that
lot of fucked up stuff.
Iceberg Slim. You remember that book you read?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Iceberg?
Pimp Story
Yeah.
of My Life. It's awesome.
There's a documentary about
Not saying
that.
my life. I'm saying that's the name of the title.
Yeah. There's a documentary about it. Pimp Story of My Life.
that's what it's called.
Yeah. But the documentary really glorifies this guy.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, he's just a smart, cool motherfucker.
Smooth talker.
And it was like, he also beat the fuck out of women often.
He whipped them with a clothes hanger.
So
The first trick.
not saying he's not smart, but
Yeah, apparently he had the highest IQ. They tested him for IQ, and he had like Einstein level 160.
did he write that?
Is his autobiography? Yeah. Dude, I don't know his scheme for getting when you're a chili pimp,
Yeah.
when you have one hoe, his scheme for getting more hoes, that's 160 IQ level shit.
Sure.
Dude, it was pretty fucking good.
What was it?
He was writing himself fake letters from different hoes that didn't exist. He was convincing his one hoe that he had other hoes out of state who were just killing it for him.
Yeah.
And then he'd get a letter and be like, "Bitch, you're not making." And he was wiring himself the money the first one would make. So he would get all the money
Good
from her
Christ.
and then wire it back to himself. And be
Yeah.
like, "Look at all this money coming in, you worthless bitch." So he would take what she would make in a month and be like, "This bitch sent it to me for one.
Yeah.
This was 1 week's worth of shit." That got his bitch to humping harder. And then if they stepped out of line, he would take a clothes hanger and unwire it and just whip the shit out of him, man.
Yeah.
He was fucked up.
I like
But
how he
that's-
got his nickname.
But because
Yeah.
he was fucking
He's
shooting
just
coke
at
all the time.
Yeah, he was high as fuck on coke, and somebody shot him in the head, and it just went through his hat, and he didn't move. It was in a bar, and there was like a gunfight, and a bullet went through his hat. And somebody was like, "Man, you cold as hell. You didn't care at all." He's like, "Nah, I was probably on cocaine at this point." It's like, just a guy wildly on, like, as high as you can get, got shot in the head, and was just like,
Yeah,
what's everybody talking about?
he was slamming coke.
Yeah.
He is one of his mentors. Dude, his pimp that book is so fucking good, dude. He had pimp mentors where he was like using one mentor to get to the other guy who was like the real deal. But the one mentor was shooting heroin. He was like, I like to shoot the coke because it made me cold. He would get like super cold and then just be cold as shit to his bitches, dude.
He's cold as ice.
So cold.
You need
dude.
to be cold to the bitches.
Dude, you got if
You
you're
can't have
pimping-
any compassion.
No, they're super
You
cold.
can't have any compassion for these poor downtrodden sex
It's gotta
workers
be
that you
banging
beat.
coke, yeah.
that you beat mercilessly.
Dude, the first woman he tricked into having sex with strangers for him was he tricked an underage woman to fuck an
Yeah.
older guy. And like that's the first
It's
time.
funny
I
that that's how they dress too for their job. Like
Yeah.
pimps, you just
I think
wear
you want to be kind of like inconspicuous.
outrageous outfits. I guess when you're taking advantage of other human beings, you have to like dress like a cartoon character.
I think
So
so.
everybody, like, you ever see slave owners? All dressed like ridiculous. Like, hello, how are you? It's like, this guy can't be up
I'm
to
a
no
gentleman.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so. When you're doing something absolutely morally heinous,
truly evil.
Yeah, it helps to have like dressed like
This
Willy
character.
Wonka. Just be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you
or
got
just
shot.
be like, I'm not going to think about the horrible things I'm doing to women, dude. At the time too, like women would like their husbands would die in a factory, and they would just be like on survival mode. And
Yeah.
here comes some dude dressed like Prince, dude, and would just be
Yeah.
like, I'll take care of you.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you, bitch.
And then it was funny too that that's also how like Stonewall Jackson got his nickname.
Really?
Yeah, they were like firing cannons, and he was just standing there.
Yeah.
because he was also nuts.
His nerves were probably shot.
The
from
exact same
PTSD.
origin of a nickname was some pimp getting shot in the head, and someone was like, he just stood there cold as ice. Same thing. In the Civil War, Stonewall Jackson was just standing there like, look at Jackson standing like a stone wall.
Oh,
Ice cold. They were so close to switching nicknames.
oh, that'd been crazy.
You know, he's
dude.
like, he just stood there like a stone wall.
Damn. Stonewall is a sick
Stonewall
pimp.
Slim.
Stonewall Slim.
Iceberg Jackson.
Ice. Damn.
Could have been, yeah.
Oh, dude, another world.
Another time, man.
Some other ball of reflected light, dude. There could be.
There's a Stonewall Berg. Wait, what?
But yeah, dude, it was that was crazy. It was the whole stories really were just like shit like that, and then I would eventually get robbed at gunpoint, lose all my money.
Yeah.
Back to the day.
How'd that feel getting robbed at gunpoint?
Kind of surreal. First time.
First time.
The guy got robbed. Well, that was so, dude. That was all right. So, so that was the one dude that the junior. And
Oh wait, you didn't tell me about he was hanging out with the pimp, the other
that was
guy.
that was just a sad
He was
situation.
just-
That was just
yeah.
an old man, really nice guy who just got addicted to cocaine and then kind of like got really sick and amazing. It was a fucked up thing to watch. He had like little kids and stuff. I wasn't selling him cocaine,
Me.
huh?
Noah's over there pointing at me like I'm on this path. I don't do that junk.
No, this guy was the man. He was a really nice dude. He just loved that powder, bro.
Yeah.
And he had beautiful little girls and shit, and just slowly. I remember like, dude, this was weird because the guy was like, he was older than me. He was in his 50s.
Yeah.
And he would like bust his scale out, and I would see the powder on it. And I go, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like 23 at the time. I'm like, yo, bro. And he's like, don't fucking blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's kind of fucked up what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'm fine. Although he had a sick tradition where he would tell his wife that once a year he would say, this is the guy. He'd go, I'm going to be gone for 10 days. And he would just shack up, dude, in a hotel room.
Just
Break out the 8-balls. Call the girls. Call the pimps. Dude, you were just-
all the pimps and
You're
girls.
just calling all pimps, dude. I have 10 days.
I'm here.
He claimed, he's like, I need like a 10-day absolute just like Dionysus binge to keep my sanity once a year. And it was just like, dude, I guess I can respect it.
Yeah.
Dude ruled. He went to jail when he was really young. And while in jail, he went to jail for coke. And while in jail, his brother used to, it was like not that big of a town. And his brother would just lace bags of coke into a tennis ball and just hoof it over the wall of the prison. And he would just be in the yard and a tennis ball would drop and he'd pick it up and he's like, dude, I made more money selling coke in jail than I did outside.
Holy shit.
Then he started a successful landscaping company.
Nice. Nice.
Dude's a man. There's a lot of, you meet a lot of weird people. A lot of fucking.
Wonder how they felt about you. Like, yeah, some guy came in and started talking to me about light. Some fucking college kid just
Stonewall. I was the old Stonewall,
Yeah.
dude. But yeah, dude, it was. But the weirdest thing was, so when I was, and this is like the height of everything. So now I'm like 19.
Do you feel comfortable talking about how much money you were making at all?
Yeah, because I lost it all, so
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. But like around 19, so I had half pound of weed was going swell. I found.
Now, when
new-
you get a half pound of weed, and how much do you buy it for?
I was at the time it was like $1,600 for
Or how much do you sell it for?
I mean, $1,600. So that's
How
what
much- we
$200.
flip that.
$200 an ounce you're buying it for, and you're selling it for like 240, 250. And then if you're breaking it all the way down, it's like you're selling each ounce for 320. So think if you're just say 400. If you buy a pound of weed for 1,600, it was 32. If you sold everything for 400, you'd make like $800. But yeah, so so that dude, you're talking to a 19-year-old who was making $60 a day.
Yeah.
Make $800 in a week. I was just like, oh god,
Yeah.
oh my god. I'm definitely going to the back room at Show and Tell.
Oh. How was that?
How much is the wishy-washy? That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's actually quite reasonable. But yeah, so that was whatever. And then that was when so obviously I had my little half pound thing going on, and then I got to get my wisdom teeth out. That's when my boy was like, dude, you got to get these things. And I was like, what are they? He's like, they're pain pills. Everybody loves them. And I'm like, I'll see it.
Everybody loves them, and it's having fun. What year? Like 2008? It's like, things are good.
No, it was even before that.
Oh, really?
So it was like, about 2000.
Yeah, it was back when business was booming. People were like, yo,
back
pills.
before people realized how bad they truly were.
Yeah.
But so I got my wisdom teeth out, and I came out of the surgery, and the lady was like, we're going to give you Advil. And I was like, I need Percocet. And she was like, we'll give you Vicodin. I was like, okay. So then I just sold all of them to my friend. I was like, here, take them. I didn't take it. Dude, when I got my wisdom teeth out, I still fucking rub it in on the old lady. I'm like, I took just Advil, dude.
I sold the fucking things. This was a come up. Wisdom teeth surgery, major come up.
I was pumped, dude. I got $200 for nothing, and I had my goddamn wisdom teeth out.
Yeah, you got rid of those fucking things.
They were going to cause me all kinds of problems down the line. So so I remember I got those, and they were just. I remember I was like, "Where are they?" He's like, "They're gone. Everyone took them." I was like, "People like these things," and he's like, "Can you get more of these?" And I was like, well, let me see. And then I went to this bar.
And got your other teeth removed?
No. There was a bar we used to drink at when I went to school, and it was in the hood, and they didn't card anybody. So all the freshmen would go drink in this bar that was like just up in the fucking hood. And so I was just sitting there. I would go there every Monday. I would go there, and obviously, dude, I'm showing out in there too. So it was Show and Tell. There was this one. It was called this lounge. I think it's closed down now. But there's this lounge on Lancaster Ave. I would go up there and just show out, dude. Get fucking hammered, buying tequila shots. I would have a ball. So it was like $2 shots. So I'll go there and ball out. So I got friendly with the bartender, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, barkeep. Can you get me pills?" And the guy was just like, he's seen all these college kids. This guy's eyes light up. He goes, "I can get you whatever the fuck you want." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude. We should strike a deal." So I strike a deal with this guy. He's like, "How many do you want?" And I'm like, "I'll take as many as you can have." And he's like, "I can literally get you as many as you want." And I was like, so I told a couple of meeting of the generals. I'm like, "How many of these things do you guys want?" They're like, "Literally, we'll take as many as you want."
Yeah.
So I was like, so I called the guy. I'm like, "What's the most you can do?" And he was like, "I can give you like 3,000 Vicodin." And I was like, "Huh?" And at the time, it was $1 a milligram. So like, if it was a 10 milligram, people would pay $10 and sometimes more. So I was like, "How much?" Dude, $3. It was like, I think I paid $2.50 a milligram. So I was getting these jugs from the fucking pharmacy. They were labeled like, it was fucked up. And this guy, I would just give this dude my money, and then he would just walk around the block, and he'd come back with a shopping bag full of like the shit you see when you're at the pharmacy that's back in the back. And I was like, what the fuck? So I would get rid of them, and I had this thing going where I was getting thousands of these things. And, it was going pretty swell. And they were just, I watched this over the course of like a year. It was about, well, it didn't last that long, but it was over the course of a year. But like my little scheme I had going on, eventually that guy claimed to have gotten robbed. So he comes back in. I'm expecting to see a shopping bag full of like illegal pills. And he's like, "I got fucking robbed. You set me up." He's like, 2 little black kids came up in my car and robbed me. And I was just like, I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, "I don't know any little black kids that rob adults, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this?" And he was like, "Somebody fucking did." And he cocked a gun. And he was like, "Someone has to pay for this." And I'm just sitting there like, that's when it was just full on like total out of body experience.
Last night was a movie.
Yeah, last night was
a movie.
But my roommate, God bless the guy, came down. I think I talked about this before. The guy I was living with, who I'd always like, he'd always complain that I would like jerk off with like weird lubes in the shower. So he'd get in the shower.
Slip?
I was bothering him already.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we'd have parties where we'd spray the fire hydrant or the fire extinguisher.
I've got a roommate with the lube problem. Really fucking bothers me.
You get on the shower, you're like,
I'll stand up
whoa.
from taking a crap. Like my foot will slide. I'll be
Really?
like fucking jerking off with coconut oil.
Oh.
Drying off.
Yeah, I was hitting some hard Vaz sessions. So Vaseline, it hits the water and just coats it's like an epoxy.
Yeah,
just
it's
coats
crazy.
the floor. So we were already kind of on odds. I was just selling all kinds of drugs out of the house, jerking off willy nilly, having a good old time,
Yeah.
dude. And he was already kind of at wit's end with me. And he comes in from class, and there's just a guy in our apartment pointing a gun at me. And he was like, ah! And just fucking runs. And the guy was like, ugh, and he kind of panicked. He got out of there. And then we made up. So then I go back to the bar. We're still whatever. And I was like, well, hang out, but I'm not giving you any money up front.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, and then I watched at this place, the apartment complex, there was like all of these people living there who were all just gobbling up pill, there was just an ocean of pills unleashed here. They were just and again, at this point I had never taken them. And then I just start watching, like at one point I'm sitting there, and everything's going pretty swell. I kind of ate the money on the thousands of pills, but we have done it so many times that I was relieved, honestly. I'm like, that was too nerve-wracking. And then like one night I was sleeping at my parents' house, and my friend calls me. He's like, you got to come here. And I was like, what? I'm like, it's 3 a.m. He was like, I think we've been robbed. Because everything was like in this little apartment complex. And I go over there, and there was like a screen. There's a hole cut in the screen. It was like on the second story. So I was like, all right, someone didn't climb up here. They came up through the door and jumped out. We had the shoebox that was just full of fucking drugs. I didn't ever talk about this
No.
before? Dude, there was like an ounce of coke in the shoebox, tons of pills, all kinds of stuff. There's money in there. And so I go up, and I'm like, and at this time, one of my top lieutenants he got a drug pill babe. So he's like dating like a hardcore drug addict. Like both these guys.
they're
I didn't know.
scheming.
I knew they were partying. Like, dude,
Yeah.
these were like chicks who would do like Ambien and coke, and then like just pass out. Like they would just like stay up as long as they could on Ambien. Like they would just like collapse on the floor.
Jeez.
So these
Jeez Louise.
I'm at college, dude. I'm getting an education.
Yeah.
There's an apartment. There was like 4 units all next to each other, full of kids about the same age who just got linked through drugs, who just started having these like ridiculous parties.
Yeah.
Like just white trash, Great Gatsby, dude. It was just like horrible. It was just him, Leo with pills, dude. Like, so he's dating this girl, and I knew they were like partying kind of hard. And I remember being like, oh, I was like, whatever. Some people, I guess, just party like that. And my friend called. I go up there. He's like fucking like looks like he's been up for multiple days. And I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, dude, like someone just broke in through the door and cut a fucking hole in the screen. Like I don't think someone like climbed in through your screen. And the screen was even kind of pushed in a certain way that like the way they were saying it, because his girlfriend was there and was like, somebody came in and just robbed the place. And I'm like, your girlfriend stole everything.
Yeah.
No, she didn't, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where is she? And he was like, she's, I don't know, but they're probably at 7. He was like, she's not here. She's at 7-Eleven. So like, we're driving up there. So
Sev?
No, this is out near Brookhaven.
Okay.
They were on the border of Chester. So we drive up to the 7-Eleven in like Chester Upland, and sure enough,
she's in there
her
standing
outside with some fucking dude named Jeff, motherfucker. So we go up there, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, we had to get out of there. I'm like, bullshit. Like, you guys are lying. I know it.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, man, it's my girlfriend. I'm like, trust me, but scrub that. But I'm like, yeah, like, this girl definitely, robbed everything. And so I like, dude.
Mark what time that is.
Yeah. So we go out there, and so I drive him back, and I'm like, dude, I know. And they finally say, all right, yeah, we did take it, but like people did come in there, and we wanted to get it out of there for you guys. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Show me where it is. Where I needed the shoebox.
Yeah.
So the apartment complex is surrounded by a fence and like the woods. So it's like 3 a.m, dude. I had to we hop this fence, and I'm out there with this fucking. Both of them are coked out of their gourds.
Sure.
So I'm in the woods with this guy. He's coked out of his fucking mind, and we have just like our flashlights or phone, or I forget how we were flashing it. Then I find the shoebox, and obviously, like, all the coke's gone. It's just there, severely reduced.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, literally. I don't know where it is. Dude, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, thanks for showing
You
me.
ever hear about that bear that ate that cocaine?
No.
It was one of those shipments that they would just drop in the woods. Like drug dealers would drop it, and then somebody would go pick them up. A bear got into it and ate like a kilo of coke.
Fuck.
And like had a heart attack. It was like sprinting through the woods. Just a fucking monster bear.
That was this dude, but it was like a guy who was 160 pounds and just fucking like
He's a Kodiak.
outside of a Sev, just like, it's like, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. So I I reclaim my little shoebox, which has been severely reduced. I'm like, God damn it. And then I hop the fence. It was, one of many downfalls, but so we hop over the fence, and then I get in my car, and dude, all of a sudden, like, there's people outside. They're screaming at each other. Apparently, this shoebox just went around that little party circuit So there's just like maybe 30 people who are just on the most drugs possible.
Yeah.
And I'd be
they're
like,
where's the show box?
Where's the Reebok box? And there's
Yeah.
like, dude. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, I'm out of here. And my friend's like, she didn't fucking. He was all fucked up. I know that. I know she didn't fucking blah blah. She's like, I'm like, whatever, bro. I'm leaving.
Damn.
Like,
So they stole it, went to a 7-Eleven and had a fucking party.
no, they had the party, and then they like once I guess they found out that like he discovered that like something was amiss, so they concocted this crazy scheme. But then I guess
Yeah.
Big Papa was coming up, dude.
Oh,
See
they
what's
know.
what, dude.
Yep.
They knew fucking ice was coming up,
Oh.
dude.
Iceberg. Well, you should have brought out the wire. You should have been
Iceberg, dude.
slapping him for that.
Yeah, dude.
Hitting him on the
I should have.
push.
I should have fucking wrote a letter to myself. I'm like, one of my
Yeah.
bitches, dude. No, I just came up and was like, whatever. I was always ready to lose all of it because I was like, this is kind of a bother.
Yes.
I was like, this is really dangerous and annoying. But so I literally got out of there. I was like, dude, fuck this. I'm out. You can stay if you want. The cops will be here in about 10 seconds. I guarantee. Because it was a big complex. Like, there's like people working and shit. So I'm like, dude, I'm out of here. So I leave. I'm like just driving away, and I get to like the bottom of the little thing, and I hear he came to his senses. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here too, dude. That night the cops came, fucking arrested a ton of people. It was pretty bad. And that's when I realized like, oh shit, like this is really really bad.
Yeah.
I threw away. There was drugs, and I said these are bad for business. And
Yeah.
I just threw them away.
Good.
I threw away an ounce of coke once.
Good.
Just went, nah, I don't want this shit, bro.
Yeah.
I watched people like an apartment complex full of people's lives just go like and tank. And again, they were like that was my experience with people using like drugs. So I was always like, dude, that's like they're bad.
Yeah.
They're real. That's why I'm so nervous about them. Whole fucking complex. And again, they were like 18, 19 years old. But dude, it was like I knew them. We'd hang out, and like I just didn't really see them that much. And like 6 months went by, and I saw them all like screaming at each other. And like I talked to a guy, he'd be like, "I can't fucking sleep, dude, if I don't have perks." And I was just like, "Oh, this is fucked up." Yeah. So I remember I fucking cut it out.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
So you got out the game, kind of.
Yeah,
Got out the serious game.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of weed. I had my half-pound fucking floating around, but
Weed. That doesn't happen to weed guys.
I got robbed at gunpoint again for weed. Yeah, that was pretty
Okay.
bad. That was up. There was some guy set up a thing. So I had the gun on me at once. Then I had some weed going. That was cool, and that's when like that fateful
Can't
time.
believe you didn't get a gun.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I never wanted one, man.
You strike me as a guy that would want one. Keep
Carrying my
that-
knife right now. I got fucking volunteer firefighter energy, dude. I got a knife on
Why
my
are you
belt.
guys all getting knives?
Well, I don't want to, bite off of dad meat. But
The whole
it's
Philly crew,
it's
dude.
so fun.
I leave,
It's so fun when you
and
do.
the crew is exploding, dude. You guys are the Percocet guy. I come back,
think
I'm
we
like,
are.
what's going on? He goes like, we got knives. We're working on all these things. I'm like, all right, slow down, everybody.
When you do dad meat, the whole time you hold a knife. This guy who's a knife maker made them these big ass knives. So the whole time you're talking on dad meat, you're just clutching a blade and making your point, dude.
There's
It's
two autistic guys that love wrestling,
so
holding
fun.
knives.
So fun. And they give you a knife when you show up. So I don't want to bust a knife out on camera because
Why?
I don't want to get sued by dad meat. They stay with blades, dude, the whole time. If you watch them, they're just like this talking with the
They're like jihadists. Like jihadi
Make
John.
sure I put it in down. Let me make sure I put it in the right way. All right, I'm cool. I don't want to.
That was a little sloppy.
You don't want what? You want to put it face down because then you got to flip the knife. You want to put it belly down right here, right in the bottom. Put the butt end. Fucking. What? You want my pills? Mine.
Matt, I've watched you stab yourself.
True.
Put it away nicely.
That was an accident.
That is, I promise you, that what you're holding will send you to the hospital.
This is a sharp blade.
That's
bro.
going to take you to an urgent care someday. That's your ticket.
I've been cutting sweet potatoes.
You're gonna cut your
using my
fucking
hand as a
hand.
cutting board,
Yep.
just going.
Yeah, of
But I
course.
go gentle towards the bottom.
Sure.
I'm gonna get myself, dude.
You're going to an urgent care.
Can't help
That's
it,
your-
dude. I hate sullying cutting boards, dude. You gotta wash it. It
That's
gets
what
all,
they're there for.
I know, but then it gets all fucking. It's just a pain in the ass to
Yeah.
clean. I don't know who made them like orange peel textured.
Yeah.
Some of them are. It's like,
Yeah, there's like grooves from
Yeah.
the knife that just gets filled with.
true. We're all chicken and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so yeah. Then the real end of things was like, so all the pills and stuff. I said, this shit is fucking evil. This
Yeah.
is bad. So I said, no.
That
more
is
of this.
evil.
And people would hit me up constantly. I would just say, I'm not doing
No.
that, dude. Bad. This is bad for business. It was tight though when we sold coke and had
Great for business.
True. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is
Bad
pretty good.
for the soul.
Especially we had the fucking pizza man who would come. I've talked about Horsehead before.
No.
I've talked about
Let
Horsehead,
me hear it.
dude. Horsehead was the guy who, he was a pizza delivery guy who, like, we would just tip and Coke. So he would, like, fucking bring us extra pies and shit. And he would just do this guy. And he looked like he had a horse head. So we would be like, yo, Horsehead. We would call the pizza place and be like, can we have Horsehead? Like, can we have Horsehead delivery? He's the fastest. The guy would come and just bring us, like, wings, all kinds of shit. And he would just come in, rip Coke, and just fucking bounce. We'd have tons of pizza. That's when I was bagging up Coke the one night. And I was eating pizza at the same time. And that's when I got, like, numb mouth. And I was like, the hell was with this stuff?
Wow.
I was just fucking had Coke all over
That
my
must have
hands.
fucked you up.
I wasn't a fan. I was a little bit tight wound for about a little bit. Didn't get very good sleep that night.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get my syrup and pill sleep that I had been caught.
Yeah, those are some deep slumbers.
But no, yeah. Then I like started selling weed and shit when I was like in my early 20s, and that like ratcheted up. That went well for a while, and then I lost all my goddamn money. Just a couple bad
It was a
moves.
setup.
Well, yeah, the one
Somebody
guy
was
robbed
playing
me.
4D chess, and you were playing checkers.
Some guy got me, dude. I went in and I went into this house, and I had like, I think it was like 4 pounds of weed. It was no big
Nothing
deal,
great.
bro.
It was something.
couple pounds in there,
Just
bro.
federal crime.
Whatever.
Just
Yeah, at the
joking.
time- maybe
This is
at
a
the time.
comedy podcast.
But all this is made up. But so I'm in there and I'm meeting this guy. You know, I'm out. No, I was still in college, but I had like a college young buck. Who, you know, you go onto a campus and you find like young bucks who are doing their thing. And you go, yes, this is.
You were
perfect.
his old head.
Yeah, so you go, this is perfect. So then, you know, he's really, the guy was
You
a
find a
sweetheart.
Noah.
Yeah, same school.
Look at him.
Same school.
Yeah. Find a nice Noah.
This guy was,
Like, this guy's ready to die right now. He'll
Now,
do whatever.
The college thing was pretty chill. It was pretty, but the problem is you get these guys who get into like weed who start to fuck with pills. Then like one bad guy all of a sudden starts fucking with pills, brings just like the World War Z legions of fucking zombies and cokeheads into the peaceful arena that is the weed trade.
Yes.
So these guys penetrate it. So you get a guy who's doing the weed thing, gets on pills, and he goes,
Yep.
where could I get all? He's like, I owe really scary people a lot of money right now. Oh, I know people who have absolutely no fucking propensity for violence who are in charge of lots of cash. So I'll just have these guys, my scary drug dealers who I now owe my stuff to, rob them. So there was this kid in the college thing. It was going well, and then I'm up in the room. I'm like just counting money he owed me from before. I had like 4 pounds of weed, and I'm like, where's this dude who's supposed to get all this? He's like, hey, he should be here any minute. The door opens, and the guy went and let. He's like, oh, he's here. He went and let him in. The guy I knew. He comes in. His eyes are just wide open, dude, like fucking saucers, dude. He's just like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then all of a sudden, I see the kid I've never met before just come in, like, not looking scared like the other kid. And then here comes a gentleman with a ski mask and a gun, pointing at me, and he's like, where the fuck is Matt? Blah, 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 blah. Apparently, I had shown the one kid one of my YouTube videos, Super Bowl, Coca-Cola Super Bowl 2014.
Oh, no.
I'd shown the one, so that's how they, like, used that information to create this profile, like, to be like, we know who you are. It was all bullshit. The kid had just set me up, and that was like their cockeyed plan. So I'm sitting there. I'm just sitting on the floor. I had been counting money.
This is all from that Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
Ain't no damn God bless America about some immigrants. It's just making it. It's got like 80 views.
Dude, it was
oh yeah, that one went
25,000, bro.
viral. Forgive me.
that went viral, dude.
Forgive me.
That was so funny. I
Yeah,
went,
people thought
I
it
went
was
viral
real.
in my house or my
As a
phone.
racist. Yeah.
I was a dude, crazy play on fucking ironic. It was old school ironic racism, dude. Come on, dude.
Yeah. It
That
was
was
great.
awesome. But yeah, dude. But that was like the start of that, man. That Coca-Cola commercial had
That was
like
up there.
immigrants in it, and people were like, "What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?"
Now, if your commercial doesn't,
Yeah, true. That was the start of it. They're like, "Actually, America's for everybody," and people are like, "What?
no, it isn't.
Bullshit." Come on, Coke. That was funny. So like they all thought that. Or so they come in. So I'm sitting there. I see this guy who's like, I see like mortal fear.
Yeah.
And then I see a guy who's just like doesn't look that scared, but it's like pretend. I was just like, oh, I can visibly tell the difference. There's a guy in a ski mask pointing a gun at me, and there was like 4 pounds of weed on the bed. There was money, and I had kept there's a little bit of money behind my back. So
In
I
your
was
crack.
like fucking. It was. I just when the door came up, I just instinctively, because the guy came in kind of fast, I put it behind my back. So I have like a little stack behind me. I'm like,
Sure.
oh, sweet. So then the guy has a gun. He's fucking pointing at my face. We're doing this and that. And I'm just again. When you have a gun in your face, you're completely out of your. At least for me, I was completely out of my body.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching it. You don't even feel nervous. It's like I was, but it was so nervous that you're not anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there, just like
You're
Man,
like,
that
you're going
guy-
to have to shoot me, motherfucker.
No, I was just sitting there like,
You're an iceberg, dude.
I was just going like, totally silent and just being like, I don't. He'd be like, "Where's Matt?" I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And the
I don't know, sir. I
Who's
don't
that?
know what you're even talking about.
Matt, I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
He's like, blah, 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 this is my block. I've seen you been, blah, 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 you're taking this block. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, this is bullshit. Because
Yeah.
I'm not. And, whatever. So then so he takes all of our phones. He's like, if you look out the fucking window, I'm going to shoot. I have someone out there. They'll fucking shoot up at you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, rude. So then we.
He's going to kill me?
So the guy, finally, we sit there after like, at the time, it was like, I think I had something to do. I think it was like someone I was dating's anniversary. It was like, we had dinner plans and shit. I just lost like all my money. And so besides my little stack I kept behind me, so I'm sitting there and like, all of a sudden I'm like, the kid's like, oh my God, blah, blah. And this other fucking kid, piece of shit. I look at him, I'm like, dude, you set that up. And he was like, no, I don't know what hell. I'm like, you did that, dude. He was like, looked like a little pillhead. Oh, I swear to God. And I just, it just like all broke out of me. I started choking this guy, like fucking choking him really badly. And the kid, I like blacked out in anger. And the kid who was there was like, stop. He like high pitch was like, stop. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, and the kid was like, I was like, all right, my bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, but then I was like,
Sorry about
look,
that.
I was like, look, dude, you set that up. Fuck that. You're not going anywhere. This didn't happen.
This is not
Kind
true.
of this is like
You did not kidnap that guy.
So I'm like, you're not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah.
Until this gets sorted
I'm
out.
giving you a fucking dead leg every
I'm gonna
fucking...
fucking choke you again.
Yeah.
I had him in the fucking Cobra clutch, dude. I was like, fuck, this is the only move I know. And so, dude, it was so I mean, looking back on it, it was really funny because I was like, okay, prove to me that this guy, he claimed another guy was coming down, Penn State guy again, these motherfuckers. He claimed that he's like, my
Pedophiles.
boys from Penn State was coming down. I'm like, call him. I don't have his number. I'm like, bullshit. He's like, well, I don't have my phone. I was like, we're going to T-Mobile. I'm going to buy you a new phone and activate it. And I'm going to see if because like if this guy came for 4 hours, he'd be calling you off the hook right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I'm like, we're going to fucking T-Mobile. So I bring this guy, my prisoner. I bring him into T-Mobile.
And you have no weapons. You're just
No
literally
weapons.
like,
I'm
I'm going
strong-arming.
to punch you.
Strong arm. Because this guy is like a pillhead. He's like a little fucking crackhead.
Yeah.
So I bring him into T-Mobile, and I'm like, this guy needs a new
Was
phone.
he wearing a snow hat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Little piece of shit, man. Fucking hear those perk eyes. He's like, so I'm like, I bring him to T-Mobile. He's like, I don't know. And the lady went in the back, and I'm like, dude, I know what you're doing. If you keep doing it, I'm gonna fuck you up. And he was just like, I'm like, just get a fucking phone. I'm gonna pay for it. And he was just like, he's like, and I was like, he needs a phone. And the lady's like, okay. And I'm like, tell him your password. And he was just like, he gets a new phone. We're waiting, no calls at all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you lying motherfucker. I knew it. I knew you fucking did it. He's like, look, okay, I didn't do it, but like, I feel responsible. He's like, let's go down to where my dad works. He owned like this fucking construction supply place down in South Philly. Let's go down there. And he's got a safe of cash. This has happened before, and he totally made it all right. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like I'm sitting there, I have to go to like fucking anniversary shit, which at the time I should have just canceled, but I was just like, fuck, I gotta go to my anniversary dinner. So I go, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. We go down to this warehouse in like South Philly. And it's like a construction supply warehouse. So I was like, call your dad right now and tell him he needs to pay for all this shit. And he called his dad and he was like, I just really need help right now. Like a scared voice. And I was just like, fuck. So then I'm like, all right. I'm like, I told my friend, I'm like, you drive. He had a BMW. I'm like, you drive his car. I'll drive him, my prisoner. I'll drive him in my car, and we'll go down to the warehouse. Dude, I get down to the warehouse. These are just like goomba'd out like fucking Italian dudes. There's a dude standing there, double Desert Eagles, on his thing. He's like, I'm a retired cop. He's like, blah 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 blah. Just tell me what happened, blah blah blah. And I was like, this is what fucking. How do I know you didn't? I'm like, why would I rob my fucking self? This makes no sense. I'm like, your son's a fucking. First of all, he's a drug addict. Like, look at him. He's on fucking drugs right now. Second of all, he's gonna get really hurt. He's like, I was like, obviously that's not my MO, but he dented me for about 10 fucking 15 G's, dude. It's like, that's not good. And he's like, I'll make it right. Blah 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 blah. So we go back and forth, and then the kid like leaves, and the dad's like, look, I'm gonna look into it. I'll make it right if I decide that. And I'm like, whatever. So then a little time goes by. I call the dad. They weren't answering my phone calls. So I found out where he lived through like the white pages. Started stalking him a little.
Yeah.
Driving by the house, sending him texts like, dude, I know where you live. And doesn't sound nice, but
It's not the nicest thing.
Not the
you can do,
nicest
but-
thing. I started stalking him, and then the dad calls me back. He's like, "You violated our trust." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude. You weren't going to pay me anyway."
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. I was like, "You're a piece of shit, and your son's a fucking piece of shit." And then his wife picks up the phone. She's like, "You have any idea who you're dealing with? My brother's in the fucking mafia." Blah blah. And I was just like, "Yeah." I was like, "Put your husband back on the phone." I was like, I was like, "I don't know why I'm talking to you." And and I call. So I talked to him.
might
I'm
be
like,
iceberg.
I was like, you let your wife. I'm fucking at this point. I'm hot, dude. I'm like, you let your wife handle this kind of shit, dude. You're a fucking pussy. I start just. I'm just ripping them, dude. And then so they're sitting there like, she's like, "You gotta watch your back." I'm like, "Dude, if anything happens to me, I already told people we're gonna burn your fucking house down." And then so it was a stalemate. I'm not gonna burn the fucking house down.
Yeah, of course.
There was one dude I know who was like, "I'll burn the fucking house down."
Yeah,
He was
I'm
from
sure.
another country, but I was like, "Look, whatever, you guys can say whatever you want. I don't care if you're in the mafia or not. If anything happens to me, your house will get burned down, at some point." And then we just kind of
Yeah.
went separate ways. So then I was like, "This is getting a little heated." So I just fucking
This is a little out of hand.
yeah. So that was kind
I
of
just
the
had
end of
a
it.
kid.
Oh yeah,
kidnapping.
that was way. It was
No, I meant.
yeah, but yeah, man. So that was that was like the height of it. It was and then
Yeah.
I had at the same time lost a bunch of money in the mail. That was another chunk of money. I was gone, no money
Yeah.
at all.
You mailed it?
Yeah, that was an old scheme people used to do.
What, just
Just
mail
cash
stacks of
and
money?
they'd mail weed back to you. You just sit in an apartment all day and be like,
Yeah.
the mailman would come. He'd be like, dude, I went into a post office one time and just got weed out of the post office. They were like, "Yo, I missed the package twice. If you go in there, I'll let you keep like half of it.
Yeah.
You can just have it because otherwise it's gonna like just I don't know what's gonna happen to it." And I just went in there with like a slip. I had just like made up a name on the thing and like was like, "Here you go." And the guy was like, "I can't give you this," and I was like, "Why not?" He was like, "Because the signature doesn't match." And he looked at it and he was like, "Whatever." And
Yeah.
he just handed me a box and I was like, "Oh." Fucking just took off, dude. It was
Damn.
crazy. Yeah, that was the thing. You would sit in a house, you sit in an apartment, and it would just fucking. You would get a box, and you'd just be like,
Whoa.
"Do we open it? Do we wait? What do we do?"
Damn.
But yeah, that was another. I got away. I saw people doing that, and I was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah,
So
you're
I
gonna
stopped
get
doing
caught.
that. But then you would tack your money onto someone else who was mailing, but then they'd fucking. They'd do it
Everybody's ripping everybody off.
nonstop.
Yeah.
So you just
'Cause
lose.
You can't
like,
tell
50.
anybody.
No,
You
exactly.
can only resort to violence.
And then all the evil hippies who were obviously masterminding all this shit would just fucking like get hooked on different types of pills and shit, and then they would just start
Die.
scheming. Yeah, the one guy died who owed me money. I was walking past. They were having like this hippie funeral service for him. Like, "What are you guys doing here?" Like, "Oh, it's blah blah blah. He passed away." I was like, "Fuck that guy. He owed me $5,000." Like, "Come on, man. It's not cool." I was
Hey,
like, "Fuck
man.
that guy fucking sucks." I was like, "He owes you money too." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you know." But yeah, it was funny. Yeah,
Damn.
there was another hippie. There was a period in between that whole thing where I was dealing exclusively with evil hippies, and I had an evil hippie minion, but he was people were attempting to rob him the one time. He called me. He was like, "There are people outside my house." There was 4 hippies with They had a pit bull, and we're like, "We're going in there, man." And I like came home from work. I had a screwdriver on me, and I was just like, "Dude."
I'll stab you.
No, I just had it in my pocket, and I walked up. I'm like, "You guys got to get the fuck out of here." And they were
Yeah.
like, "All right, but it's fucked up." It's like, piece of shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it was wild, dude.
Just
My
dealing with evil
20s, my
hippies.
20s were like evil hippies, like actual gangsters.
Yeah.
And then the period during that was like during my rise. That was when I moved through the Asian gangster thing. They were my boys for a while. And
Yeah.
I used to get just feelings. I would go like, doesn't feel right. And dude, sure enough, man, I like remember I got weak and went back to the one Asian guy, knocked up on the door, and like someone else was like, "He's in jail." And I was like, "Well, you probably think I had something to do with it. I'll be leaving."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
dude."
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it was a long and sordid tale. I do think at one point I'm going to sit down and really chronologically put the events
it'd be
down.
great.
Some sort of memoir, dude.
That'd be great.
Pretty tight.
It's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Choking that kid? Great.
Choked him, dude.
Nerd
dude,
raging.
having
Choke.
kidnapping in a T-Mobile store and being like, he needs a phone.
Yeah, what an idiot. That kid couldn't just be like in
Help.
the store, be like, well, this guy's just kidnapped.
I told him, I was like, "I'm going to fuck you up if you do that." And he was all whacked out on drugs too, because he was like starting to be like, I don't know. And the lady went in the back, and I was like, "I'll fucking kill you, dude. I'm gonna fuck you up right now." I just fucking put him. He felt the power, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude.
He knew.
A fucking generations of laborers, dude.
He
I've been
didn't-
sweeping construction sites for 20 years, dude. It's fucking,
Just life
or like 10, I guess.
sucked out of him from a fucking peasant.
But yeah, that was the end of it. Me telling some lady who claimed, which, a very Italian thing to do. Like, my brother's in the mafia. It's
Yeah.
like, I'll burn down
I'm
your
gonna
fucking
fucking
house.
kill you, bitch.
I'm gonna burn down your. Dude, that was a fun thing to be like. I'm like, can I have your husband, please?
Yeah.
It's like 23. Being 23, and be like, can I talk to the man of the house, please?
Yes.
I respect that move.
That is.
The guy was so mad. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I like the fact you let your wife handle this kind of shit. And he was like, she took the fucking phone from me.
It's funny. I always think of like, not to always go to this, but the SNL thing, like when you got canceled, like everybody,
That's
like
a
I always think of everybody that knew me forever.
Yeah.
Like somebody I knew from like high school, seeing my face on there and being like, oh shit. Like if you, like some fucking, it's like, that's that guy who said he was going to burn our fucking house down. He's getting canceled for saying an Asian slur. What the fuck?
Dude, I think about that a lot. The fucking, not that, well, what you're talking about, just the year and a half. And especially if it's like, oh, dude, get over it. It's like, dude, that's crazy.
What?
Just be like flogged through major publications.
Yeah.
Like on a national level.
Yeah.
I'm still somewhat dissociated from things because like I see stuff like that happening and I'm like, that's weird. Then you think about it, it's like, dude, the fucking Los Angeles Times.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, do you know this guy? He's bad.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
Look how bad he is. Put his face everywhere.
I don't know. I'm telling you, man. It's like, it's on some level. It's not obviously like raping people are horrible, but like it's the worst socially acceptable thing you can do to people.
Yeah.
Is try to actively ostracize them out of social society.
Yeah, it was in that book,
Society.
that fucking Ron Bronson. What's that guy's name?
Yeah.
So you've been canceled
so
or
yeah.
something like that?
It's dude. I'm telling.
He talks about what's it?
It's Mark Ronson.
Mark Ronson.
Dude, it's
What did I say? Ron Bronson.
roll Ron down Bronson.
But yeah, they used to do that,
Yeah.
like in New England, Puritan New England, where they would like publicly flog you, and people would be like, "Look, I don't care if I get flogged, just don't do it in front of everybody." And like it got to the point where they're like, "All right, public shaming's bad."
Yeah, man.
Like back then, they were like, "We can't do this," even if somebody got caught for buggery.
Hold up.
You can't flog them publicly. Although I think back then, if you got caught for some buggery, they killed you and the animals.
What?
You know what buggery is? It's
Is
when
buggery only when you fuck animals?
Yeah,
I thought it was when you fuck someone in the butt.
maybe it is.
They were like, well, that's buggery.
But
too.
yeah, you got arrested for buggery.
I guess when all the animals went away, you're like, I guess I'll fuck people in the butt now.
They would slaughter the animals with you. They're like, these animals are ruined. No one's
Yeah.
gonna eat this.
True. Yeah, that would suck, dude.
Yeah, it'd be like,
Eating
yeah.
the turkey and you're like,
I wonder how many animals we've eaten that have been fucked by a guy.
it's like how many spiders do you swallow in your sleep in your lifetime? Like 8? It's probably like 4.
Yeah,
At least
the amount of
4.
wings I've crushed. Somebody fucked a chicken.
Pushing 2 wings together.
Yeah. I wonder how many chickens I've eaten.
That people fucked.
Not just people fucked, just in general.
How many chickens?
Think about it.
I mean, I was eating whole
A
chickens.
plate of wings is like 12 chickens.
I cook whole chickens a lot.
Just a bunch of their legs.
I got to be up at thousands of whole chickens.
Yeah.
Easily.
All right, I actually.
Yeah, you got to run.
I have to go.
I think that was
I know
it.
it's a short Patreon, but
Oh, that's fine. What are we at?
7.
Yeah,
oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you for sharing your tales of.
There's a couple of them, dude.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, dude, I have Ultimate Warrior blood, dude. Is what it is.
it is what it is.
Pushing the broom. I was like, I don't like this. Went to college, was in an office, but I don't like this.
Yep, got a gun pointed at you.
A
Like,
gun pointed at me.
I
was
don't
like,
really like this that much.
This isn't as bad as the other two.
Yeah, this is
no,
beats
yeah.
those fucking lights.
Yeah, no, it's. Oh, that was the whole thing I was gonna say. That whole idea, and I don't want to jam you, but just to put a button on this little baby.
Yeah,
What essentially like what happened to you. That's the reason people are afraid of public speaking. If like the fear of like being like ostracized and kicked out of. Because like again, it's like when we were all like monkeys in the jungle when our creator designed us like that at first, being kicked out of the group, you're essentially being fed to the jungle.
yeah,
Because it was like you're a small, naked, little, weak creature, and you're gonna die. So there's that part of us is still alive. It's why all of this shit that's crazy, like the Bryn Mawr strike and all. It's why that's spreading, because the thing it rests on is the fear of you being ostracized from, like, your social group. Dude, you got hit with like a gravitron level,
Yeah,
serious level, dude. Like I watch people in like a room of 20 people not be able to take the heat of everyone kind of like
Yeah.
ticked at them. Dude, spin the fucking paper. Bad
piece
guy.
of shit. Actual piece of shit.
Yo,
That's
I'm
the
telling you,
news for today.
it's a serious
Here's
force,
the
man.
news. Shane Gillis is a fucking piece of shit.
He's you know the worst
Also in
guys.
sports. Like just
You know how there's those guys we assumed are the worst now? He's one.
yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever.
It's hitting people on a level where it's like a primordial fear that people have their fucking grips on right now. And it's fucking, dude, again, 3 weeks of a accredited academic institution got shut down, and
Yeah.
the president's like, I'm happy this happened. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa. Dealing with some powerful stuff, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's dark magic.
Yeah, dude. But, yeah, man. Now I'm married. I'm a Jesus-loving guy, man. I've had my fast times, dude. That's why I go to bed at 11 o'clock, dude.
Yeah,
Everyone's
you
like, "Oh, stay
better.
out and have fun." I'm like, bro, I'm good. I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Just fucking pray. That's all I do, man. I go to bed and fucking say my prayers, dude. And it's like, take it easy.
Yeah.
Take your easy, dude.
It's still in there. You got that fire in
Fire,
there.
man.
That fire's gonna come out, dude.
It's called the Holy Spirit, dude.
All right. I gotta go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Later on.